Talk time, Kevin. Talk about it.
What is the most pain you've ever felt?
The first
Easy.
day I laid
Penis
my
in
eyes
my
on
butt.
Nick. Oh my god.
Jeez Louise.
The first time Nick got a penis in his butt? Is that what was combined there?
Yeah.
Nick? Why did you say easy?
Easy.
No, yeah. Go
I
ahead.
actually, it's a tie. Two events, separate occurrences. One, a dreaded
Nipple
occurrence
touch.
that could only occur in males. When
Boomerang.
sexually aroused, the body.
Blue balls.
Yes, I was gonna give a more elaborate explanation into it, but yes.
I was not expecting that answer.
First time, back in the day, Nick was a wee lad. I was, the girl. We were on a date. We didn't do anything, but we were together. I was aroused, of course, because this is prepubescent Nicolosito.
I don't know if you could say prepubescent because you had hair in
That's true. I guess can't.
Third
I
grade.
guess I would call it. I would call it mid-pubescent Nicolosito, and nothing happened. Nothing happened that would make any normal person think that there was going to be ejaculation in the coming events. But
The coming events.
Get it?
my body decided to say, "Hey, why the hell does not happen for no reason?" Right? So I'm driving home. All of a sudden, sharp pain hits out of nowhere. I just feel like pain from my testicles to my upper stomach. I have no idea what's going on. I'm
You
literally
might have
freaking
testicle
out.
cancer.
This was 9-10 years ago. If I had it,
You might have beat it.
His body fought it off himself.
that's the only thing that could happen if that was the
Because you're a
case.
scientist, you're around radiation. all
You
the time,
might have
so.
beat it.
So you're telling me that was tied for the most pain you've ever felt?
Tied for the most
Never
pain.
once felt that pain.
It was
Occur.
prior to that moment and post that moment. I've had it occur more times, but that first moment was the worst that I ever had.
Don't know what that
the
feels
other
like.
one,
There's
giant
a
mosquito is back.
giant mosquito that terrorizes the Four Play podcast as it flies around on our lights. And Nick's scared of bugs.
I'm not
so-
scared of bugs. I just don't want them to land on me.
Why?
It doesn't bother me on
He's
his
gr-
own,
he's
but I'm gonna
gross
freak
looking.
out if I hear.
He's
Oh.
far away.
It could be a ladybug, and if I just hear, I'm losing my mind.
I think that's everybody.
Anyways,
Proceed.
sorry. So that was tied for number one. Other moment, I had a very, very terrible stomach ache. Like, it sounds
Fell off.
juvenile.
Fell off your tricycle.
It sounds juvenile.
That's
sounds
tummy
juvenile. But I literally, I thought I was on my deathbed. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, maybe honestly, some of like the worst pains I've ever had was probably just like having the worst diarrhea, but having to hold it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly, yeah.
Just like that kind
Watch
of
out.
shit. Yeah, it's
Fuck,
a bug.
fuck are these bugs?
yeah, but it's a mosquito, like a little one of the
But
ones that bite.
those are some like the horrible pains.
In
Yeah.
the moment, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the moment. Yeah,
But that's what I
Yeah.
mean.
this is like
That's
it. Fucking
Oh.
in the end ended up being nothing, but it was definitely like up there in the worst.
Look, he's all fucked.
Torch, Mike, you want to show the camera your thumb as you Mike's one of his most pain was that
That
for
right
video
there.
listeners, his thumb has a small
abscess.
abscess
I don't know
growth
if that's actually
the size of
the
a
right
small volleyball on top of his
Right.
thumb.
Well, that doesn't really look like much on camera, but when it first happened, I thought it was fucking like fractured, and then turns out that the pain was because there was so much pressure built up that like you couldn't really see it on camera, but there's so much pressure built up that the pressure pushed my nail up so hard that it actually bent my nail because
Oh, so that's
that
your
part-
original
Look,
nail?
yeah, look. That
Oh
part
my god.
bent that much under my skin.
So
because of
basic-
how much pressure was pushing on it.
For those who can't see or are listening, cut your nail in half and raised one half of it like a quarter of an inch, and that's Michael's thumb.
pretty sketchy.
And like I didn't. That's the reason why I thought it was more than just like a sprain. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was just fucking retarded amount of pain.
Mm.
I have two stories for my pain. One of them very recently, which we discussed. When I got my eye surgery, those 3 days after were easily the worst 3 consecutive days of my entire life. There was no escape the
I'm
pain. And yeah, that was just awful. But I already told that story. Story comes to mind is in the great land of England
Yeah, they
or
kidney
Ireland
stones
or
the
Wales.
size of a grapefruit.
No, I don't ever want to have kidney stones. That
Hopefully
sounds.
not.
that's
yeah.
definitely up there.
Horrifying.
My dad's like worst.
I can imagine. That's what I hear from most adult
Yeah.
males. But it was. I went to England, Ireland, and Wales for 20 days as a student ambassador, and we were in England, staying at like a college or something like that. So it was pouring rain, so I was like, I'm gonna take my friend's hat off, and then I'm gonna go run away while he chases me. So I turned on rocks and ate shit, and my knee is just like gushing blood. So like me and my two friends, like we go back to my room, and we're trying to like tend to my knee and like wrap it up. We don't want to tell the counselors because we were being dumb kids. And all of a sudden, my buddy goes, "Dude, look at your elbow," and it was like a giant like hole like in my arm. I was like, this is not good. And my buddy was like, dude, put Listerine on it, it'll clean it out. I was like, no.
Ew, what the fuck?
So we go to talk to the counselor that we all hated. Her name was like Miss Cummings or something, but we just called her Cum Dumpster as we middle school children. I was like, Miss Cummings, look at my I'm banged up here. She's like, oh, okay, here you go. Doesn't tell the head counselor, gives me like 5 Band-Aids. So I was like,
Pat yourself up.
yeah. So I was like, okay. So I
Rub
wiped
some
them
dirt.
down and I covered my thing in Band-Aids. Now my knee is like fine, but I leave the Band-Aids on my arm because it was kind of hurting. Roughly 4 to 5 days later, we get to a swamp, like farm thing. So we're like like elbow deep in like mud and stuff.
He's got shit all in your cut.
So we're in like a fucking what are those things where you go on like the hay ride? A tractor or whatever? Yeah. Getting pulled back to the farm. We made some Irish soda bread. Mine wasn't very good.
Tractor.
No. And and my friend on the trip was like, pull that Band-Aid off. You won't do it because they were kind of like all one congealed Band-Aid at this point. I was like, I could do it. I rip it off and it's just a circle of green infection, like deep. And it's just green and covered in mud. So the head counselor was a nurse back home and he was like, that is not good.
At all.
I stick my arm in antiseptic, don't feel anything. Like they're like, you should feel that. That should be doing something. It does nothing. So he had to take gauze and scrape the infection out of my borderline hole in my arm. And I still kind of have it, but it's hard to see. And there's a scar on my arm.
So, did you sue that teacher that gave you the 5 Band-Aids?
Cum Dumpster? No, we just continue to call her that bad name for the rest of the trip.
I feel like that is partially your fault for
100%.
waiting and shit.
Well,
Well, I mean, you
No,
were
it was
in middle
infect-
school, though,
yeah.
right?
yeah, but the
It was
mud
infected
didn't.
before
Yeah,
that.
the mud didn't do it. It was just I didn't put any antiseptic on it
Yeah,
after
yeah.
the cut.
The bitch gave him 5 Band-Aids.
I should have listened to my friend who said put Listerine on it.
No. I
It
mean,
would have burned, but at least it's an
yeah,
antiseptic,
I mean,
right, Nick?
But there's not that much
Well,
alcohol in Listerine.
it-
There's more shit in it that would probably fucking...
It also depends what type you're using exactly.
Well, yeah, that's what... But most Listerine is like...
I
that
would
you're
say no.
using now is like there's more
Yeah.
bullshit
Yeah,
in
I
it
would
than
say no.
alcohol.
It's a last ditch effort, better than nothing.
It would have
Well,
probably
yeah,
been
yeah,
better than
yeah,
me doing
that's
nothing.
Definitely not antiseptic by any means.
So that was quite awful. Kevin, do you have a pain story?
I have quite an injury history.
Do you? Oh, you do. Yes.
Yeah, no. I was when I was an infant. Well, not infant, but I was a child. I like to try to escape from my
Crib.
crib. So I tried to do when you're jumping like a fence and you jump and you got your legs kind of go up in the air at one point.
Yeah.
I'm a child. I lean over my crib. I do that. My arm gets stuck in the thing and
Oh,
wrist
and the
breaks.
bars.
Yeah,
Oh,
wrist breaks as a young kid.
Fragile
So I'm a little
child.
kid with a cast. I'm like,
really? Still have never broken a bone in my life.
When was this? I remember you had a red cast.
that was 5th grade when
That
I
was
broke
5th
my
grade.
thumb.
Okay. I remember that. I remember that.
And I'm relatively fine for a little while. 3rd grade comes around, and I start feeling like this weird, like pain in my right leg, and it's sort of just, I was like dealing with it, and then it reached a point where I was like, all right, I should probably tell my mom about this or whoever. I'm like, Ma, I got this pain in my leg. It's starting to bother me. She's like, oh, and rightfully so, because kids deal with this. Oh, it's just growing pains.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Mm.
I was like, all right, fine. And then I reached a point where I couldn't walk on it anymore. So we went to the doctor, and I actually had a bone cyst on my tibia.
It's freaking
What
nuts.
grade was this?
3rd grade.
Oh my
so
God.
I had to have surgery. Luckily,
I didn't know you had surgery.
Yeah.
my parents didn't. I still have the scar. And everything. My parents didn't know that there was even a risk that it could have.
That could have
it was a
happened, yeah.
cyst or anything. So the doctors come out after I have the tests and everything done, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, it's benign." And like my parents almost fell to the floor. They were like, "There's
Yeah,
there was
a chance that it could have
That's
been.
nuts.
So I had that removed in 3rd grade. 5th grade, broke my thumb playing kickball. I went to go pick up the ball, and some
Wait,
chick-
Someone
kicked
kicked it.
you?
Yeah,
a
yeah.
girl.
Wait, what
Oh
does
my
that
gosh,
mean,
I
though?
remember
Like,
this.
What
Entirely.
could happen if it's like a
Oh, cancerous.
cancer.
Yeah.
If it's,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, so they filled in. So what they did was they had to go in and scrape out.
scrape? Yeah,
So
Oof.
there was like a little hole in my bone, and they filled it in with bone chips,
Damn.
bone chip.
and they're
Bone
still holding
chips.
up to this day. So
Still
technology
strong, staying
works.
strong.
But 5th grade, broke the thumb. That was fun.
Got all the signatures though.
7th grade, I bruised and lacerated my left kidney.
Oh my God! How did you do? I don't know that you had this injury history.
Playing, it was in Pop Warner football. It was it was just a normal tackle, but the
Wait, you fell?
the guy was tackling, sort of like his legs sort of dragged behind him, and his foot was, so say this is his heel, so his foot's in the ground and his heel is right here, and my side just like landed on the back of his foot,
Oh
right in my
God!
kidney.
Terrible.
So I went through the rest of the practice. I had a little pain, but I was like, whatever. I don't want to be a pussy.
I'm okay.
So I finished the practice,
football
then
practice,
I
I'm
get
alright.
home, and I go to the bathroom like I normally do, and it's tea colored.
Oh no!
So I'm like, oh shit, there's fucking blood in my piss. So I was like, hey ma,
Got a problem here.
it's not supposed to look like this. So then hospital, there's nothing really you could do but rest for it. So
Yeah.
I was laid up in a hospital bed for 5 days, and that was it.
Damn,
That is nuts.
I've never spent a night in the hospital.
The next year, I broke my clavicle, which was not fun. I wouldn't wish that upon
Question:
anybody.
Do you drink milk?
I drank a lot of milk.
Well, okay.
He's just accident prone.
Nah. Well, my excuse is that I never broke a bone is that I love milk, but I guess that doesn't hold true.
Yeah, broke my clavicle, which technically it was fractured, which is even worse because then it's like it's
Yeah.
on the fringe, so you can't even like move it.
Just
That
break
was
it at
that was
point.
just a brutal pain.
To interject, I don't like
Really?
to give Mike any compliments because I don't like him most of the time. But I thought he was a fucking man one day. We were outside my house playing Kill the Man with the Ball, and one of our friends decided to judo throw Mike over his shoulder when Mike was a little tinier, a little toy, like a tiger. Threw him over his shoulder, broke his clavicle in the front yard, and Mike was just like, he like got up. I was just like, no. I broke my. I still remember. You instantly got up. I broke my collarbone. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, I broke my collarbone. And I called your parents, and you didn't cry. You didn't fucking shed a tear. You were just like done. You were just like
Stonewall.
over it. I would have been crying like a little bitch.
I remember going in like your dad's house though, and like you're just like, you don't like your face is blue right now. You do not look good.
No,
Like,
I
was
remember.
just, like,
Yeah, you were
dripping
changing.
sweat.
Yeah, you were changed color, but you were like just like you looked almost dead.
No, but that was the weirdest thing about it because you said you almost like you fractured it though, right? Because mine was just like a clean break, and it literally like it only felt like I knocked like the wind out of me at first, and that's all I felt. And then the only time that like I actually felt pain, it was like later on in the healing process. It was like
Oh,
really fucking weird.
Dude, it sucked the whole time.
The entire time.
Because-
Yeah.
Because Matt fractured his collarbone really bad, and he said that was the worst pain he's ever had. Like he had to get surgery on it.
The fracture.
And the worst part about that was you'd like if I was in the shower, I'd forget about it, and then I'd go to like reach for a bottle of soap, and you feel it like
no,
slide,
because
and it's
it
just like
feels
ah.
normal at first,
Yeah.
right? Like for
Until
a
you
while
move it
when
a
it's
certain
healing,
way.
Yeah, it feels normal because that's what happened to me. I was like, we were in high school, right?
This could.
Or
Yeah.
was it middle school?
It might have been like I think it might have been end of middle
Or it
school,
might have been
honestly.
freshman year.
Yeah.
But I think it was definitely freshman year. But no shit, that was middle school.
Yeah, because I think we started to not hang out as much in high school.
Yeah, that was middle school. But anyway, I remember it was healing, and I was in gym class, and like it was like pretty far along in the healing process, but it wasn't fully healed yet. And I like figured like I was good, like people were playing basketball. So I just walked up, got the ball, went to go shoot, and like the second I like raised my arm in that quick like jerk of shooting, it just like the worst sharp pain ever right there.
Wait, so Kevin, you held your left arm. Was it your left one too?
My left, yeah.
And you're a lefty, and Mike, it was your right too, right? Both your. I want to say it was your right. Yeah,
the right. You could. You
Still
have like a bulb on yours.
I used to. It's gone now.
Yeah,
it's
mine's
been
not
a
as
few years.
big, but it's.
Yeah, you used to because the
you
way it
still
heals,
feel
it just heals in like a wad of bone around the
It's
wherever
like-
it happened.
Yeah, it heals back stronger than what it was. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so I'll
Those
keep
are-
going here.
You have more?
yeah.
Oh man,
After senior year of high school,
I remember.
there was
this
like
one.
a football all-star game or whatever. So I was playing in that, and we were practicing. It was like it was like the second to last practice before we actually played the game. And I just went up to defend. I was playing cornerback. It was just a normal play. Came down, just landed like a little awkward. It was nothing crazy. My leg kind of twisted. I felt like a little pain, but nothing really. So I finished that practice, whatever, got home, woke up the next day, and I couldn't fucking walk. And I had no idea what it was, yada, yada, yada. Tried to play in the game. And then I find out after the game and everything that I had broken my fibula, which is like
Oh my
that thin
God,
bone on the outside of your
yeah.
leg.
It's like your calf bone almost.
Yeah, so it's really not. It's not a major break because like you could sort of move around.
Everything's still
It's still,
intact, pretty much.
yeah, it's still it hurt, but
I thought this was your nose thing.
no, that was after my freshman year of college.
Oh.
I came back after my freshman year of college, and my uncle plays in like one of those Sunday weekend warrior like football rough touch leagues, and he needed another guy to play, and I was like, oh, I'm young and spry, I'll go play with all the old guys. Whatever. So again, I'm at cornerback, and
You're crushing it.
the receiver ran a slant. So in other words, he's running back in towards where all the people
Center
are.
field.
I'm trailing the guy, and my middle linebacker was running out towards the guy.
Connect.
The ball comes, I deflect the pass. My middle linebacker's head comes flying directly into my face. Nose snaps.
Oh.
This is what I'm getting to. This long-winded way of getting to the single worst pain I've ever felt.
The septum?
Is taking a full speed, broken
Oh.
nose, a full speed dome of somebody's head directly to your face.
Oh, did you instantly just start tearing and crying?
Well, I wasn't
You have
crying,
to, right?
But
right,
yeah,
you tear.
Yeah,
You
you're
tear.
going to tear.
That's what I said. It's the same thing as crying. Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean,
so
he's
it's
not-
just-
yeah.
and you're
He's not
like,
whimpering.
Your vision just goes straight black when it happened.
yeah, you're kind of shocked, and then I sort of open my eyes, and I'm bleeding like all over the place. And then so they move me to the side, or I think they call it an ambulance. Someone did, but the ambulance comes, and my uncle was telling me, he's like, you don't want to go with them. We'll take you somewhere after all this. You don't want to get in the. So the two people from the ambulance come out, and they start fiddling with my nose. And meanwhile, while they're doing this, everything just goes completely white.
Oh my god.
And I can't see them at all. Everything's white. And I'm like, and they're asking me questions. They're like, are you good? I'm like, yeah. Everything's fine.
Oh,
But then, yeah, no, it was just,
that's the single worst.
yeah. And
one.
like, I still have the deviated septum, but I won't go back and have
You
it done
need
because
surgery,
I
right,
don't
to
want
fix it.
people touching my nose. It just sucks.
Dude, when you were telling that story, I was making weird faces just because.
You broke a nose once.
Yeah, when I was playing like a pickup soccer game.
We were all
Yeah.
there. I think.
We were all there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Were
Zach.
you there?
Oh, well, yeah, it was Zach.
Yeah.
Were you there, guy?
Zach broke his nose.
Yeah.
Mike
exactly.
broke it.
I didn't
It was-
break it.
Well, you guys,
It was bad.
Mike and our friend went up for a header,
He
and
broke his nose on my head. But yeah, we went up for a header. I went up. It's pretty much basically I went up early. He went up late.
and he was above you.
And wait, yeah.
Yeah,
No, so he went up early. I went up late.
same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
So
because
he
then
was
he's
up.
coming
He
down.
was on his way down, and I went up.
So you hit him from
And-
underneath?
Yes, I hit him from underneath.
That's so
His
dangerous.
Ugh.
his nose hit the side of my head as I was going up, and he was coming down, and like I literally felt the fucking brake on my
Ugh.
on my head, and it was just the nastiest feeling. And like when you were telling that story, I was just like making weird
Thinking it,
faces
yeah.
because I just like
Remember
it reminds
feeling
me of
that.
feeling of like something hitting and then just giving.
Oh,
It was just, ugh.
Yeah,
no.
just the thought, like I could still, like when I think about it, just thinking about that dude full speed at my face.
Oh my god.
And
sucked.
everybody on like close to us, like you heard the sound too. Like it was just
It was brutal.
Knock on wood, I've been so lucky with all that stuff. The only time I was ever in a hospital is when I had a bad tick bite one time. I don't flinch for shit.
you got Lyme disease.
No, they thought I had either Lyme's or Rocky Mountain virus, but it wasn't anything.
Fuck is Rocky Mountain virus?
It was some like weird strain of tick thing. This is like 15
Like
years
Zika?
ago. Yeah. But nah, I've been lucky. But wow, Kevin, I didn't know
Yeah, here's a history.
your
Yeah,
injury
so every
history.
time, like every time you go to like a new doctor or something, they ask for all your.
Oh
my mom
man,
would literally lose it.
the laundry
like,
list?
Well, yeah, growing up, she'd be like, "Oh, here we go."
Well, like if I was to talk about like when I was younger, I can't really remember the pain, but I just know it was definitely really bad. But like I fucking like split the entire like bottom of my foot open when I was like 6 years old at like a 4th of July party. I don't know what was on the ground, like a nail or a piece of glass or something, but the whole like bottom of my foot was split open. It like looked like a fillet because I was in and out of like a kiddie pool, so like my feet were all pruned. My dad said. So it literally
It's
like
an
there was
easy
no
slice.
blood. He said it was just filleted. And we go to the ER, go to the hospital ER. He was about to like stitch me up. They start like putting the numbing shots in my feet.
Yeah.
My dad said they didn't put enough because like he's going, and then like by like the 3rd stitch, he said I was just like flailing around, like screaming at the top of my
Oh my
lungs.
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
So like I don't remember it. I don't know if it's just because I felt that much pain or whatever that it just like blocked out. But
My one constant pain I've had to deal with is I haven't done it in like 2 years now. I had like I think they count like 14 ingrown toenails removed.
Those are the worst.
yeah.
And my dad
Yeah.
went once and he was like, I don't know how the fuck you've done this so many times. He was in so much pain. Because
Supposedly, if you cut like a little triangle in your toenail, supposedly it grows back like to
yeah.
the cut.
Well, my thing
or
is they
something.
killed the roots of my nails, so I haven't had that problem anymore. I went one time when I didn't. I was like, I want you to numb both the toes up, kill all the roots, so I don't have to deal with
Maybe
anymore.
kill the roots. What does that do?
They put like a numbing thing so that like the ends don't grow. Like it doesn't like the toenail doesn't grow on the sides. I think that's the point. But each time I got a toenail removed, they ice it with freezing cold like spray, so you get like a frostbite, and then they have to stick the needles in all over, and that
Yeah.
is just so uncomfortable. And he's got to twist it out.
I
And
didn't-
it's just so it's not like strong pain. It's just so
I've been like on the
uncomfortable.
fringe of like getting an ingrown toenail, and I just
Rip
I
it.
rip. I'm just
Yeah.
like, fuck
Yeah, you
this. I'm
gotta-
not letting it
Yeah.
happen.
No, it's terrifying.
It's bad.
It
But
sucks.
That's what,
They didn't
that's
freeze
how it's
mine.
been for me, too.
well, that's why I like this podcast, because we all learn more about each other that we didn't know. And
That was a
hopefully,
long-ass one.
yeah,
That was.
hopefully you liked learning a little bit about our pain in life. My constant pain is every time we record, I have to look at Nick, and he makes winky
There you
faces
go.
at me, and it hurts.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Mike. We all feel for Mike.
It's unfair.
Like what we do, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with the Would You Rather question. Thank you guys for watching or listening.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/4playvideo.
If you like what we're doing, make sure to smash that like button.
Be sure to share all our videos with your friends so we could continue to grow. And we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.